put pressure instead of, all right, guys, we're going to sit back, get our items. I think that's where EG kind of thrives, where they're just like, okay, we're going to get our items, and we're going to be the aggressors in that moment. So I would like to see Faceless go back toward more aggressive play style.
Well, it does look like, gentlemen, we actually have our draft for game number 2 underway, so why don't we go ahead and just hop into it right now. Curious to see also what EG are going to try to get for themselves. I mean, they had the benefit of picking up that Underlord 2 games straight. We'll see if Faceless decide to ban it out this time or not. They're not going to. EG do opt to get rid of the Pudge once again, and they keep that Rubik ban. And yeah, just echoing bans here for Faceless.
Same side too. Yeah. They're Dire with first pick again, while Faceless is Radiant with second.
So are we going to see the nuts? Are we going to see the Witch Doctor?
I'd like to see them open it differently, but I feel that, you know, it still is good against the Underlord. It definitely has its strengths, and it is kind of nuts as most played, but this is nice as well. Picking up the Earth Spirit, making sure that Crit doesn't get his hands on it. I mean, last game Crit didn't necessarily have the flashiest all-round performance, but he had kind of individually big plays. There was a couple of times where he just hit that 3-man boulder smash that kind of secured the team fights towards the end of the game. It definitely was a large factor, and it's a huge kind of step up over EG to secure that pick away from them.
I like this already. It was literally what I was kind of saying, you know, like aggression.
Smart,
like, oh, come on. Thanks, man. No, just aggression in the laning phase. It's perfect for that.
Oh,
with the
goodness.
but okay, that's a big change up.
We saw this yesterday, but it was more situational in the sense that it was going against the Drow Ranger, and it also could have potentially fended off any sort of Meepo pick. Here, though, I mean, yeah, you're going against the Underlord. You know you're going to go against a team that likes to clump up a bit, and that's where the Wyvern ulti does work best. And it's great for the deep push, great defensive capability, but I don't know. There are those other heroes out there, defensive heroes, that have found more success, like the Dazzle we saw yesterday, but here they feel the Wyvern is fit.
I mean, I guess it's kind of nice against some of the picks that Sumail likes to play. You know, already the TA isn't going to be nearly as effective this game if Wyvern's there to help out whoever's getting gone on. And you've also got ways to tick through the refraction charge, so maybe sort of that in that sense, but you know, I want to see them switch it up in the supports they have, so I feel already this is a good start for Faceless, trying something a little bit different to what they pulled out in game 2.
Are they big Wyvern fans?
I don't. Looking back over what they performed with Reset, I can't recall seeing them pick any Wyvern.
I don't either. It's very curious to see them pick it up in the first 2 as well, so they're just like, kind of putting it out there. I think, like you said, though, I think that's the deterrent toward the TA. They were like, Sumail was the big problem. Wind Wyvern has multiple different forms to deal with that kind of TA aggression. But yeah, they do reveal both of their supports, though, and instant response from EG.
I mean, that almost, it just makes so much sense. You know, they picked a Wyvern, it's like, well, good luck playing your TAs and such in the mid lane. EG just say, we'll put Sumail on the Ember. You got huge amounts of magical. I mean, it's all magical, and that's the answer to dealing with a Wyvern.
Yeah. No lockdown. Well, I mean, he has a curse, I guess, so you can set up for the boulder and for the silences and everything, but no like, individual real lockdown other than your ultimate from Wyvern.
And it's also a hero as well that's a core hero that you're not too terrified if you're a teammate and you get caught in a Winter's Curse with him, because he's not going to be building right click. So it doesn't matter if, you know, Sumail's hitting against his own teammates under the course of the Winter's Curse.
Let's just show their supports, it looks like, here right out of the bat, so they are going to be kind of cornered in with these two. But as we move forward with the bans, they're going to be getting rid of that Wisp, and EG, no Ice Ice Slice and Nyx Assassin this time.
This time showing, I think, more respect in a kind of a way, or just not really, just not wanting to deal with the Nyx, because the first time, you know, they picked the Ember, and they banned the Timber Saw, and they banned, I can't remember what the other hero was they banned, but they left the Nyx intentionally when they had the Ember Spirit ready. This time, they're like, nah, it's not worth it. It just makes the Ember Spirit's life a little bit too hard. So, good ban.
Could we see them go back for the Jabs Invoker once again?
I think there's definitely a chance of that, isn't there?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility versus Ember Spirit. Maybe they just ban that one too. I wouldn't see why not.
No. Also really curious about that black hero too. But as we're moving in here, send a ban out. Typically, this is where EG would consider the Zai grab. And we know Zai to be one of those roaming aggressive kind of supports, or he can buckle down and be the defensive support. So the guy's hero pool is so ridiculous, it's really hard to kind of lock in what he's going to be going for. But they'll ban out the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon Uno was still in the pool.
Still there, yeah.
So also incredibly good versus Wyvern. You can just disrupt the person who's cursed if you're not in a good position for it too. So and there for them. EG.
10 seconds.
We said one before, didn't we? Oh, yeah, the Invoker.
Yeah, we said Invoker. Definitely something that I could be thinking about. Actually, the Enigma ban out. A little bit different there from EG. I guess would have been Ice.
Yeah, well, what I've been hearing through the grapevine was that offlane Enigma is a thing. And it is something we could potentially be looking out for as well.
Yeah, something that EG certainly aware of here. I guess would work very nicely with the Wyvern. You have that great setup for the black hole. You know, get hitting a curse from range, allowing the Enigma to close the gap in and follow through.
Looks like some insider knowledge coming up from EG there, banning that one.
Yeah, who knows? Past scrims.
Yeah.
Whether the case be.
Yeah, let's take the Invoker.
They take the Invoker right away.
I don't think that's surprising at all, really. Maybe, you know, kind of begs the question, should EG have banned out the Invoker instead? Potentially not worried about it. It's not going to have that pudge with it, as we saw earlier, which was, you know, Jabs did play it very well, but as you mentioned earlier, the series, there was a lot of the start down to the fact that Black was enabling Jabs to get those Sunstrike kills with the hook setups.
Because he was suffering a bit in the laning phase. Like, Ember was doing, I think he had like almost double his CS at one point.
Almost triple, I think. It was like 24-6 at a point or something. Nearly quite. It was a huge lead for some out. But yeah, it was just the ganks, the rotations that a Pudge could pull off. The Nyx Assassin, obviously someone else that's very good at kind of pushing a mid lane Ember off the edge, kind of throwing him off his game with the early game ganks.
They still have that Earth Spirit for a little bit of that early game.
It's true.
Taking action to go with the Invoker, but yeah, as you mentioned, they don't have that precious black hook into Sunstrike, so I'm going to be curious to see if Jab's going to fend for himself on his own setups, or if they'll still get something to pair with it.
They probably want to grab a support here, but I'm liking Jug overall for RTZ. I think it fits pretty well versus the Earth Spirit and the Invoker.
I mean, I wonder if EG might just go for a similar draft as they tried in game one, now that the Pudge isn't there. The Zai on the Leshrac is still a potential. Oh, they're going to go for the line instead, so a good bit of magical burst. Nice control against the Earth Spirit. It is a little interesting that we don't see too much Lion at the moment.
No, we really don't. I think it's a hero that's always just kind of there, and people, if you say, oh, we need lockdown, it's like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? You're kind of like maybe expecting them to go for a Weaver, something like that along those lines, and they're kind of like preemptively setting up for that, to have the lockdown for it.
It's a shame because, you know, beloved Rasta, Shadow Shaman, kind of fits the same profile as a Lion when you need that extra bit of CC, but also, unlike the Lion who is committed in for the burst of his finger, Shaman would have been able to provide the wards and in a hefty push lineup, which you have Underlord. I wouldn't have minded seeing that, but yeah, the Lion also, you know, fits the bill.
The nice thing is that Lion has the Impale, which is big. So the disabled range that you have. Rasta is a single target disable. At least Lion has that potential to for the multiple hero disables.
That is true.
Which is always really nice.
Yeah, but Octarine Core Infinite Shackle, man.
That Infinite Shackle, though.
Well, we go back the way over to Faceless' side now, where we may decide to preserve Black's pick once again here. So we're looking at
they take the Juggernaut themselves. Okay, they highly like this. They highly regard this hero. Not too much Juggernaut. It could have been a little bit of a deny pick from EG as well, but okay, EG goes for this Chen.
First Chen of the event.
We've seen them pick it. Was it in Chinatown? Maybe they picked it once.
I don't know if they played in. Maybe they did. Maybe it would have just been one game.
Yeah.
Give my ignorance here. Crit or Zai plays this Chen?
They both do.
I think that they can both play either way around these two.
I've seen them both dance around with the Chen from time to time, but like I had to pick one as the Chen go-to. It's kind of hard, right?
Yeah, definitely kind of hard. I think it could be Zai playing this one. But it could be either. I think they probably want to prioritize the Lion's farm a little bit more, but we'll see. They have like a 5-man lineup with the Underlord Chen. They just now need a building hitter on RTZ. So they do actually ban the Lone Druid from Faceless, so I think that's a really cool ban. I think would have really synergized quite well with EG's draft so far. Give them that nice physical damage hero and the objective taker.
Is there anything new meta about I'm going to go back to the Chen. Anything new meta about the Chen since the new patch? I know there's been a lot of talk about the Helm of the Dominator and such. Is that anything he incorporates into this lineup, or is things pretty straightforward as far as Chen play goes?
I think it's pretty straightforward. I think it's just like the Aghanims, like Sincere has Underlord to get them back. But I think people have been doing that for a bit. And EG goes for the Weaver themselves in this game, since there's not a whole lot of like lockdown on the side of Faceless. They only really have the Earth Spirit to contain him, and it gives them their physical damage output as well as Roche Taker with the Beetles.
Ooh. I think Faceless did do Magnus Jug before.
They have done mag.
They have done the mag.
And it's Ice Mag, yeah.
Hey, Ice could play the mag on the offlane.
I sure love a mag. That's a crowd pleaser. But I agree with you. Provides the extra bit of burst, the cleaving power with the jug. And when you're going against a lineup that 5-mans, I mean, RPs could be there in front of you.
RP could be huge.
RP, Magnetize, there's Curse maybe to get the stragglers at the end.
Sounds good to me.
Hectic team fight, man.
10 seconds.
I do like the fruitfulness it looks like with this Wyvern. I mean, he's going to have a lot of deep push ahead of him here. Chen creeps and Underlord armies.
I love it.
Wonderful call there.
I love it. I think that's a really nice finisher. Mag
Yeah.
jug.
Yeah.
The Faceless know what they're doing with it.
This is going to be an exciting one, guys. And I'll be honest with you, a little hard to predict based on the draft. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about it.
I'm looking for big team. I think Faceless, Jabs Invoker look really good earlier,
Okay.
for sure. I mean, they might even switch it around. There's still the potential that Black and Jabs could switch up heroes. Both of them can play an amazing Invoker. But I'm going to look for Ice to make big plays on the Magnus.
Yeah, I think it's maybe a little bit greedy coming out for Faceless, just with the mag offlane and the Invoker and Wyvern and everything that kind of combined, but I'm going to go for them anyway. I'm not even.
All right, 2 for Faceless here. We'll see how things are going to be panning out right now as the game begins and gets underway. I want to go ahead and remind you also, you got to go to g2a.com/Dota Pit to get those giveaways of graphics cards, AMD processors, and of course Dota cosmetics. Let's throw it over to our casters right now. It's going to be Toby1 and Gods for game number 3.
Yeah, let's get it underway. EG Faceless. We need to start this and find out who will be advancing forward and who will have to play in our best of 1 elimination game later today. Faceless, they're the ones with their hands on the Earth Spirit this time around. A lot of stable cores. A Magnus, not a hero we see a hell of a lot of currently. Up against EG, who are also just giving us a little bit of a dally with a Chen. No longer 5th band out in the draft.
Yeah, it's a different look from EG as far as the Chen pick goes, and we talk too much about things. It will be Faceless running directly into Crit's Lion.
Yeah, with the smoke breaking, they know someone's up there, so rolling boulder forward, misses by a long way by XY, but it won't matter with the skewer forward. Can Black reach him for the spin? That would be enough. Another Arctic Burn hit, but no, Crit will make it back to the tier 2 tower.
The boots first. That's the beauty of the Chen. Normally you think Lion, you're thinking 5 position support, but with the Chen on the team, at least level 1, Chen doesn't really need any items, and Lion can say, I'll get the boots, and then I'll buy all the wards and upgrade the career while Chen farms Aghanims, mech, etc., whatever the team needs.
So movement speed is the path to not feeding First Blood. Yep. EG are actually going over to try and contest, so you've got Arteezy who's going to feel pretty confident with Shikuchi to go for that top rune. So Universe and Zai will contest to go into the Radiant jungle. Black will also try and battle him, so Black actually comes out on top of that one.
3 bounty runes for Faceless, not the end of the world. Small little edge for them, but yeah, Black in the bottom lane, lots of tangos for regen. He'll have plenty of sustain against Universe, but the poor man shield off lane is always very hard to zone out, and Winter Wyvern, not one of the strong zoning heroes as far as the safe lane goes. With the 50-second cooldown of Arctic Burn, you've got to kind of pick your moments of when you want to use this spell.
I'm interested to see just how much pressure they applied to the Winter Wyvern, and I mainly think of that because of the timing of Zai. Are they actually going to have enough for this one? With Samael underneath the tower, Sunstrike is up, but Samael, yeah, he's just dancing circles, and Jabs isn't going to commit.
He lost his salve. Oh,
wait, what?
The Orb of Venom. It's the new patch. It didn't used to cancel salves, but now it does. I mean, Sumail knows this, but it's one of those things where you have your habits, and he's probably just not thinking about it. And yeah, lost his salve there. That's painful stuff. He's gonna have to bring out another one. He had to use his shrine right away, so that's a bit of a old loss for him in the mid lane. He won't be too happy about that.
And now he's also going to go well underneath the tower. They want to keep the tornado in range, so Jabs has a couple more issues. But when he does this, it allows XY just to go in. He was in so far, so deep, and now he's going to lose his life. Or will he? No, the Flame Guard will protect. You still have Sunstrike available, and Jabs with that Observer Ward up. I know, Samel's going to trigger off the salve. So again, not burning off a lot of mana, but Samel's burning a lot of consumables to be very aggressive in the mid.
He's got 1 CS per salve. He's been rolled on again in mid lane. Sumail Being slowed down, pressured some more. He won't be getting too low this time with the poor man's shield, but he's bought a third self, so
This bottle is going to take forever for Samel to get.
tough lane.
At least he's not dying, because if he's dying and he's doing all this as well, this is just going to like compound the issues. Because there's no point up in Quas on Invoker. There's no call sap, there's no extra control from it.
He's guaranteeing his levels, which is the biggest thing here. The Sunstrike will not land, but he had to walk forward there, almost again going down. His third salve will have to be consumed immediately.
It can't be long until Jabs will probably move over to the shrine, and maybe that's also another reason why Zai is in the position he is.
Oh, yeah.
So Samel takes a lot of damage. Jabs is not a healthy man, so the Centaur, he's going to get the Stomp off. The Penitent man, Jabs, getting body blocked up. Samel needs to get in range to get the Searing Chains off. Jabs will make a break for the tree line.
Oh, he blocked him
will
with
he actually have enough with the branch? Samel had to run around. Nuts to be here, and they'll trigger the shrine and get away.
Can you Sunstrike? Oh, it won't do anything.
And even the rolling boulder forward, they're going to kick back Zai, look for an extra little bit of a kill if they can get it onto him. The Sunstrike is available. Zai is still on the run, and so is Samel. No spirits available. Remember that Observer Ward up on the hillside. They have the vision over on Zai, and the Sunstrike, whiffed completely. He won't find it. Meanwhile, Crit as well as Ice are stranded in this dual arena on top of a hillside. Who's going to win it? It won't actually be Ice, but there'll be a quick rebuttal. But now Earthspear is trapped up here. He needs to get the bug off him to reduce the vision, but it actually feeds an extra kill to Artur.
Happening, Toby? What is this game?
It's shenanigans.
This is early game. This is some crazy stuff happening. Sumail, it's in a bit of a better position now. He's closer to his bottle. Still 3.5 minutes in, just 7 CS. Invoker survived. That was an incredible juke, using the branch to block the chase, and that prevented him from dying. The Ember was going to catch up and get him with the Searing Chains, and Jabs gets out of there, gets the shrine. Would have completed the fantastic play if he landed the Sunstrike, but the more important thing is that he's still alive.
They're coming again. They are really committing a lot of time to kill off the Invoker. Of course, this comes at the cost of the other lanes, but if it can work, like this should be the successful game. Crit comes in, you got Mud Golem stuns. What are you going to have? A kick? Nope, that won't do enough. Or maybe it will when you get the Sunstrike onto Samel. Some heavy damage, but still not enough to find the kill.
Yeah. This gank in rotation will be successful, so you see Chen get on the board. Zai's been very active moving around, means he's not necessarily farming as much as those would, and he's found another kill. Nuts gets out. Barely flying over the trees here.
TP support's coming back in. Jabs just hits a rolling boulder forward, and XY just needs to hold him in a little bit closer with the extra kick actually connecting onto Crit too, so Zai will fall. Nuts is trying to run away from all these little mud shard golems.
Got to watch out for that boulder throw. That does a lot of damage, but
is this really worth it? Like, you're committing so much to shut down the Invoker, but the Magnus is getting levels. There's going to buff up the Juggernaut, who's also finding a lot of space.
And we told you, they have not shut down Jabs' Invoker. It's Sumail who's seeing on 9 CS to the 22 of Invoker who's been shut down.
The stuns. He's got rolling boulder. Crit's trying to get in front of him so he can't just roll out, and they blocked him perfectly. Black's making his way over, but what's he going to do? Is he going to spin through this? Not while Universe is in the neighborhood.
Or boulders just get tossed out, and Black will be back to lane. Farming well in the Juggernaut. He's a pretty quiet lane, close to level 6. If he had the Omni Slash there, it's a bit more could have come from his movement downriver. But he's just going to be back to lane, back to farming. Overall, a very strong laning stage from Faceless. You see the CS of all 3 of their cores, all in the 20s. They are really winning the lanes.
Oh, easy spin. That's, I don't know if there's a little bit of miss micro out from Zai. He didn't keep his creeps with him, so Black was able to get the entire Omni Slash onto the Chen.
Played, and it's a good kill to get early on. Even though it's just a support, you're often just looking for anything with that first Omni Slash, and your Omni Slash goes on cooldown. Now you're thinking, okay, now I farm. I don't have to worry about TPing, rotating. I've done my part to kind of help my team for now. They can at least look to be the ones fighting until that Omni Slash comes back up. And we'll be RP coming up soon too for Ice.
This will not be a successful gank. Not while Wyvern is sitting behind. He's still got the Cold Embrace available, so Jabs will send him up. And well, he can even get in range. You've still got the Chen army back in the tree line, so moving forward is a real issue for Faceless.
Kind of, the Wyvern just in the right spot. And if they had gone any deeper, that's where they get punished by the Magnus rotation. He is maxing in power first, by the way. 3 points already. He's been using it just to kind of jungle. He's going straight into the Helm of the Dominator himself. This item gives a ton of HP regen and attack speed, so you can farm very fast using this build as a Magnus. And a lot of handy neutral creeps are there and available.
RP committed by Ice. Arteezy still got time limits available, but in comes the Earth Spirit. He'll be able to get the kick off, so Weaver, Chikuchi is pretty low on cooldown, and with the extra help from Crit, Hex as well as Stun, hitting into Ice, they find the kill on the Magnus. So RP is blown. EG bring a lot of rotation to the top lane to help out.
Couldn't quite get the TP fast enough. If that was a shorter TP and they combo the RP with a Boulder Smash and a Silence, they can kill the Weaver there, but not passing the memo about the long TP, and EG will try and punish by taking the tower.
Well, they'll attempt to, but this is when Nuts with those early levels didn't really get a huge amount, so it's only a level 2 Splinter Blast, so not a lot of damage, but the slow onto Crit. Crit's able to get his done. Now Arteezy can turn this around, getting the bug onto the Earth Spirit. Not a lot of armor, not a lot of life. Nuts will try and give it a little bit back, and that's coming from the Cold Embrace while getting rid of the bug, but Earth Spirit troll trapped up. No way to escape again.
There's a Sunstrike. I haven't seen it get thrown just yet. I feel like there may have been an opportunity somewhere there to try and throw it out, but EG are going to shrine up now as 3, and this is a very efficient shrine considering all 3 of them were fair. 4 of them were at least lowish on HP and mana.
Samal able to shrine up before his bottle even arrives. A lot of regeneration for the Ember Spirit. 28 for 5 for him now.
So Omni Slash back for Black means he's probably thinking about ways to get involved once more. Does have a bit low on mana, but can pop those 1 charges, of course.
And that's what he's holding on to.
Yeah, he wants to hold them until he sees an Omni Slash opportunity. Or if he gets really low, he may just be like, well, I guess I've got a healing ward.
Top tower has been denied.
Well, say goodbye to the tier 1 tower on top. Means Arteezy, she's not going to feel really that threatened. Arteezy still had huge amounts of CS. Black is finally in front of the CS. Took him a while before that was the case. I think he actually managed to get a couple of camps to farm up. But Arteezy's still looking really good. Early levels up in Chikuchi means he can dive in really, really deep, have that on a low cooldown. So he won't mind too much that tier 1 tower is gone.
He's in a good shape to be a big problem with the early Dragonlance, Blightstone, Ring of Aquila. He's going to be ready to fight, get involved, and Wyvern's going to be very good with positioning and timing of the Cold Embrace and later on the Winter's Curse. What EG's next move may be, I feel like the Lion level 6 is perhaps going to be the big thing they want to wait for before they get too aggressive. Ice actually needs to be careful here. He may get caught from the high ground of, gets out just in time. Say it any longer, Crit would have had him.
If he gets hexed up, then there's no skewer that will save you, because obviously frogs can't skewer.
There one skewers, Toby.
That's only if you're into that type of food.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
EG, I mean, the team that will slow things down, play the farm game, and again, this Underlord is not a hero that wants to play like a ganking style. He wants to hit his mech timing and then group up as 4 or 5, smoke up and make some plays, but maybe perhaps Faceless making the move first. They've got 1 Helm of the Dominator, about to have a second one. They'll have neutral creeps to play with. Life a little bit easy, and you can also steal the Chen creep.
Oh, that helps. When Black gets a spin, the Sunstrike's coming in, that will connect. So Crit will go down the Sunstrike, and Black with the Haste Rune. That's why Lion was unable to run away.
I can kind of foresee like a Faceless play where they're defending a tower against Chen and they just double Helm of the Dominator his creeps.
He's locked, he's still got spin available. Now it came back off cooldown, we'll start the spin. There's a lot of damage to the creep wave as well as the Chen creeps, but he's staying very far forward. And now, actually in a world of hurt, Wyvern's coming over, he can give him the Cold Embrace in just a second, but they need more damage. Split Blast does its work, Black has managed to retreat back out again, and now Nuts has to change himself and actually put himself in the Cold Embrace. Will lose his life, and looks like the Earth Spirit may join him in the afterlife. Finger of Death's available for Lion. Looks like Chris just holding on to it for now. Why waste a long cooldown time on it? Just let the rest of the heroes do the work. So both the Earth Spirit and the Wyvern will drop. EG will take the tier 1 tower. on the bot lane. Unless Zai, nope, he just moves out of range of it. The Sunstrike won't connect.
That was close. It will be a attempted trade from Faceless, but they can't get this mid tower because Underlord's already starting the ultimate. Will send his entire team towards that mid lane to defend. Pinging the shrine as if they want to go use it as well. Doesn't look like they're low enough that they're going to need to. Top lane is Ice. So Faceless at least making some trades happen by doing damage to both mid and taking the top tier 1. That's Treads, Helm of the Dominator already complete for Ice. He's going to be a pretty hard-hitting right-click Magnus at this rate.
You know, I saw Envy doing something, I'm not going to say similar to this, well actually, similar to this is actually the correct term, in Genting, where he would actually dominate the Sata, and then just use it to farm the lane. But with the Empower buff up as well, that becomes a hell of a lot more efficient.
It's kind of like the Dark Sea where you Iron Shell a neutral here, you're empowering your neutrals, basically making those neutrals as strong and beefy as possible.
That's unlucky now for an EG ward. That's the second ward they put down, which got de-watered within like 30 seconds of it being planted. The first one was right here, and the second one they tried to put on top of the shrine, and this one sentry ward de-watered both of them. So EG very restricted on the vision.
Not ideal. The one ward, yeah, is that bottom Dire Observer ward's pretty useless now. They've taken that tier 1 tower. That gives a tiny bit of vision, but really it's just there to secure that tier 1 tower, find you a kill, and it's already served its purpose. It's not going to be able to do anything as far as taking over this Radiant jungle, catching up Black, or shut down Faceless's farm, so very even game 3. Game 1 it was Faceless, having EG's number with the Pudge. Game 2 EG was stomping. This feels like the closest so far of the 3.
Yeah, it really does. Both teams have so much they can fight with. Not clear cut. Even if EG does start to get an advantage with their push from the Chen, at Mag, once he's able to pick up the Blink Dagger, this game can change very, very quickly.
Chen is a Helm of the Dominator himself, so we'll see Creep Wars in action fairly soon.
That makes 3 Dominators and 1 Veil, but a lot of hooded faces.
Yeah, I mean, we can have, what, that's 7 neutrals running around, 5 for the Chen, 1 for the Mag and the Jug. Mid lane, they are going on Sumail here. They get the silence, but not the stun, so get back to safety.
Yeah, without the stun, they can't really go for much more.
But it's interesting that it's Faceless playing more the farming efficiency game now. They're the ones kind of playing the split push game with Ice, and the top lane needs to be careful. This is a problematic TP for him.
Yeah, with our TZ here, this could be real issues, and at least he's got a lot of armor thanks to that Frost Ogre Mage that's sitting right behind him, so they don't really have a lot of damage to kill him with. So Skewer Forward RP is still available, and he starts the TP, and well, okay, he started the RP as well. No reason to commit it, apart from just wasting a little bit of time, potentially damaging into crit.
Man, he was tanky with that Ice armor.
Actually managed to pick up 1.
Yeah.
The Underlord was able to TP himself away to safety, but the Chen army was not so lucky, and neither was the Chen. Committed Hand of God, try and keep them alive too.
Ice in that position, very scary, even in like a 1v2, 1v3. If he hits an RP and does a bit of damage, the Sunstrike could finish someone off, so... This is the Max Exort Invoker, the same build we saw last time, where he's just getting that Max Exort as soon as possible.
You can see him going for crit. Ooh. That is not a lot of points up in Wex.
No, that's...
he needs it to be bigger, that Tornado.
Yeah, it's the Sunstrike though, that's where it packs a punch.
Yep.
And that's where he's looking for those kills, but yep, able to connect, and Faceless will probably be looking for like a smoke timing around a blink of Magnus, which is quite far away. So EG perhaps one making more of the moves right now while Faceless try and play the farming game. Invoker, a hero known for not wanting to fight too early anyways.
They just saw another one of those walls being planted down as well. And so this is going to be the 3rd ward I've seen from EG and being de-warded on the Radiant side of the river.
There's still at least better vision now with the 2 wards in the top and bottom jungle.
Yule Scepter. The combination is not enough. They need to actually connect on the kick, and it does actually just clip him. But Jab's already bailed out. He ran out of mana, even though he has 17 Mon charges.
The outcome he was hoping for with that one, and he forced to back off a little bit now.
This is Nuts finally moving up, so there goes that Observer ward. Yep.
Making it a lot harder for TZ to play too deep in this top lane. He's about to finish a Desolator though, so perhaps that's go time for EG. They can Roche very fast, they can push towers really fast with the creep army and the minus armor. TZ's even going to be sent back home. Oh no, he's gonna just finish farming the jungle so he can get his Desolator up, and from there, EG will be a much stronger fighting force. I'll even go for a blink first on Sumail before the boots are traveled, just to make sure they have a clear initiator. So Lion's Blink isn't going to be up at the fastest time.
Sumail staring down the mid. Splinter Blast makes this very, very difficult to jump forward.
I mean, neither team can push too easily. The Underlord with the Firestorm, the Winter Wyvern with the Splinter Blast, both teams have very good defensive tools.
Such a low cooldown as well for Splinter Blast. So even if you do feel like you had that sustain, you've got the Greaves already on Universe. You can heal up the creep wave after the blast flies.
And the problem is that you check T1 mid, but you're taking damage up top. Ice may get this Tier 2 top tower down to like half HP by the time you take mid. With the Desolator, that's a different story though. Arteezy pushes very fast now.
Sumail gets the first root over on the Earth Spirit, but there's no follow-up. And again, as you said, like, it's all about the split push. Black's on the bottom lane. He doesn't actually have his TP in his main slot, so he can't just spin and TP out of this one. So Sumail commits pretty heavily. Black goes up, then switches back down again. Remember, TP still in the backpack, and he'll get fingered down by Crit. Really overstaying his welcome on that bot.
Yep. Bit of a misplay. If he has his TP in his main slots, he can just Blade Fury TP out after the initial disable, so recognition from EG that they could get that kill, they punish him, but immediately Ice sees TP's bottom. He knows he's even safer up top now, because at most maybe 2 heroes can come up here, but you know there was multiple TPs down bottom, and you're likely to be able to put some good damage onto this tower once again.
This is the way Ice always plays his off lane. Like, he likes to do this kind of play when he does Timbersaw as well. Continue to add pressure. Yeah, okay, Black's gonna die, but then your off laner becomes this absolute beast and almost becomes your one position. So Arteezy will TP up, Shikuchi's his way through.
Oh,
they don't find the opening, but they bring everybody in with the Underlord. A lot of support nearby. And with Blink Dagger currently on cooldown for Ice, he can't just jump and RP. This is a bailout time. The stun from Crit won't connect, so Nuts will be able to fly over the hillside of Willie. He'll turn around, puts the curse over on line. Blacklaw right, rolling bottle forward. And the RP with the Magnetize, the Sunstrike will kill off the Underlord. They have enough damage, but the stuns, they just chain them all on top of Black, allowing Sumail to jump forward. So they get the kill over onto the Juggernaut. Jabs, does he help out his teammate? No. They let it be a 3-on-3 trade, make it a 3-on-4 trade with Arteezy picking up at the end there, XY. But it was the Invoker, the sole survivor for Faceless.
What good micro coming out from the Chen on his creeps after the Juggernaut came out. It was a really good RP onto 2, but it was still not the I mean, you got multiple heroes, but you didn't get multiple enough. If you hit 3 or 4 there, he would have cleaned up. You can see the damage output potential from the Omni Slash with the Empower there, but once that Blade Fury is on cooldown and the Omni Slash has ended, EG have such good control from all the Chen Centaurs, the Searing Chains of the Ember. Arteezy just goes kind of unnoticed in these fights with his Desolator. He completely tore Faceless up.
The sustain as well from EG is unbelievably good.
Still feels like 4 for 3, a slightly EG favored fight, but it doesn't feel like they completely clean up and win the fight.
Yeah.
It was on the dire side of the map, so EG aren't turning it into an objective. Invoker survives and hits level 14 now, so he's doing very well. And you can see the potential for Faceless's draft. If they hit a good RP or a good Winter's Curse, these fights will quickly turn south for EG.
Yeah. But that's why EG just have to keep their positioning up. No mistakes, no bad positioning.
Yeah, and Ember and Weaver, 2 very good heroes to position well and not be standing next to a teammate. Weaver can go on the back lines, Ember can maneuver the Remnants and the Sleight of Fist, so hard to get good multiple hero RPs or Winter's Curses against these kind of heroes.
EG are on the hunt, but what are they hunting? Are they hunting Roshan? Are they going to hunt a hero? There's observers and sentries down for Faceless, so they're expecting somewhere around this time EG would start on the pit.
They not been able to.
They haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, they've got RP too. They'd love to find them grouped up in the pit, but Centaur's waiting. He's even split them apart.
It's too late.
Yeah. And now Arteezy with Aegis can play very, very aggressive.
So the trade-off is the tier 2. Fair enough.
Yep. The split push of Faceless continuing to be very annoying. In other words, that probably best describes Ice's offlane play.
And you put Black on the front lines. Okay, Universe is up here too. Nuts is making a fly for the tree. But Black is already here at the tier 3 tower, so they want to go for the hunt. Black with the Empower pushes this wave very fast and does some serious damage to the tower.
And Wyvern TP'd away as well.
Yep. So Black has already got this tower down. 1/3, almost half of his HP.
They're going to just play this is like the old school alliance style where you're just splitting your opponents apart. Once the Boots of Travels comes up, it gets a bit easier. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that was
a solo kill with the RP. Sunstrike, and he stole one of the centaurs as well, it looks like, so... Or maybe that's just his own. Either way, nicely played from ISIS. When you're playing split push Dota, you don't care about using RP in a team fight anymore. You're kind of thinking solo kills are fine. You slow down a Chen Agadim Scepter, you slow down the 5-man push timing of EG. EG's timing is like in theory like around Boots of Travel with Aegis on Weaver and like an Axe on Chen would be great.
Black sword out. Crit's got that Finger of Death. They're still only level 1, but Juggernaut doesn't have a lot of life to start with, so the Finger of Death will be more than enough to help bring him down. Low enough for TC to finish the job.
That's always the risk when you're playing the split push, is that eventually you've got a line with a Blink Dagger, he's going to find those picks and get the kills here and there. No one immediately at top lane. Jabs is headed up there trying to pose a threat to that top lane, knowing that already down to half HP, anything that can deter EG from going all in for the push. Chen kind of has to still rebuild his creep army a bit, so he's not all ready.
Well, we're going for a jump again. This one's actually down to...
Expecting the split push, and Ice is... he's ready. He was wary. That was some good heads-up play from him, and a really nice attempt. This is actually Arteezy now alone in the mid lane, but with an Aegis, he's pretty safe.
Yeah. Aegis Weaver. Once that Lincoln Spear is up as well, he's going to be even safer. But Arteezy, he runs underneath the sentry wards. They jump forward, Arteezy. Kuchi away again. He's happy if he would tank something as big as Napi just before the push comes from EG. But you look back up to top lane, Jabs is already starting this push once again. So Nuts has to curse over on the Weaver. Mel wants to jump forward looking for the kill, and he does go for it. And the RP is down. The Sunstrike is here, and will it be enough damage? Yes, with the skewer forward, they had just enough. Jabs will TP over, and now it's Faceless. Omni slashing through. Arteezy will have to actually time-lapse out the damage, but he's happy with that. Soaks up the Omni Slash, but now caught out. Silence, the kick goes through. Hits onto Crit, so you actually have an extra opportunity, but Universe is coming in to try and help out. Remember, he'll bring that heal. Arteezy Chikuching his way up, but you've already got Magnus looking for a bigger target with the Splinter Blast through. A skewer up with the extra slow. The Sunstrike right on top of Zai. EG, they're losing so many heroes. And Faceless fighting beautifully.
That skewer at the end, both skewers, oh my god, I've never seen this spell used in like such impressive ways as far as the impact on these fights. EG just get a bit ahead of themselves. It felt like they were fine in making that play. Arteezy with an Aegis, sure, he's playing very aggressive. Sumail kind of has the elusiveness, but RP timing on Sumail as he came out of the Sleight of Fist was absolutely impeccable, and I mean, you can't even really blame Sumail for that one.
Sumail's now going to try and kill off the Wyvern. He knows Cold Embrace will not protect him.
Yeah. Handy little kill for him, but it's top lane where, again, the split push is coming. ISIS just trying to be pesky. There's the Dark Rift onto the neutral.
Yeah, they're coming in. They're looking for him. A quick skewer up. He can't blink away. The damage was there. So ISIS will lose his life on top lane. Trying to just do something with Black, but Black bowed out a little bit earlier.
That is a great use of the Dark Rift mechanic with the neutral creep.
Sumail, he's going to find another one. This time it's Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit rolling boulders forward, a little bit too slow. Doesn't really get the perfect hit into him, but does kick Sumail down. Another quick Sleight of Fist, and he is blinking away to safety. Yep.
Jabs is ready to perhaps look for a combo down bottom, or at least just take this tier 1 tower, which go without much of a fight.
With no fight there, they might look to the top lane. That's one tower which Faceless can fight for. Yep. And they kind of have to. Like, it's their last... they've only got 2 remaining outer towers.
Would like to wait for the Magnus respawn.
Crit. Blinkers up, jumps forward, hits the stun, and went to Wyvern. The kick will fly forward, but it's all just a little bit too late. And on bottom lanes, maybe Sumail, Jabs, Yule Scepter, Sunstrike's going to hit its mark. Sumail, maybe not, with the Sleight of Fist up. The Force Spirit still doing their work. Low on armor, but not enough damage to finish the job.
Again, Black, mid lane, split pushing. This has been the go-to for Faceless. They just do not want to fight too head-on. Wyvern getting caught there shouldn't happen. You know that you've known for some time the line has a blink. You have to be ready for that blink catch. You can't get too close to your towers in those defensive positions, but getting caught there does mean it's a free tower and a tower defense. It gives them the time to get back, TP to the tier 2 mid, prevent Jug from doing too much damage. But now there's a Magnus BKB, so this Magnus is going to be a true core hero as well, and scale pretty decently in terms of damage output with an Echo Saber queued up as his next item potentially.
Wondering if Crit actually has enough for this. He's got the Observer Ward in the lane, so he sees everything, but with only Universe nearby, that's not enough to work with. Smoke's gonna break, quick time lapse away. Arteezy not taking any chances there at all.
Good reveal. We'll come back in towards mid lane. Needs to be careful as a RP is available.
It's Zai on the run, and that's exactly who Magnus is looking for. Splinter Blast will fly. Oh, nope, okay. Well, he was so precise with his skewers before, and this time Ice just didn't get far enough in front of Zai.
Really nice smoke scout from Arteezy. Kind of figure out what was going on, and Faceless will likely go back to farming, pushing out these lanes a bit.
Well, they still need more farm on Black.
Yeah, I mean, their late game with Invoker, Jug, Magnus is very, very strong. And the Lord scales well, nicely with items, much more like a kind of team fight aura machine versus the Magnus, who's that team fight winner with the reverse polarity and the empower. The empower on the Magnus, as well as the Jug late game is going to be a huge source of damage, and that's something that Sumail, anytime Sumail gets caught by a stun from an Earth Spirit or a Magnus, he's just almost straight up dead to the physical damage.
I have to turn our attention down the bottom lane in a bit.
Yeah, this BKB is nice for a team fight, but you're still very straightforward to pick off if Lion can catch you with a Blink Hex.
They actually wrap around the back, so with the Shrine, the smoke positioning, they're going to silence up Crit. The kick actually connects on Sumail too. So with the Sunstrike damage, Lion will die quickly. The trade-off is the Winter Wyvern, who ran into the rest of the Chen army, combining it up with Underlord, and Underlord is taking them away. They're all going back to their Diacide Shrine.
Go back to farming. You've lost your key lockdown. That's the hero that can stop a Blade Fury from a Jug, stop a BKB from a Magnus. You don't really want to fight without the Lion, his burst damage.
At the same time, I don't think Faces really want to fight without the Wyvern positioning either. Like, his curse is a real issue for EG.
They don't have good catch. The Magnus with a Blink Skewer is okay, but it's unreliable. And the RP, you don't want to start a team fight with a Blink RP onto one hero. And in theory, you can't find a multiple hero RP at the very start. You find that once the team fight develops, because heroes start cluttering around. Like if EG go on the Jug, they suddenly group up, and that's when an RP is going to present itself. So
yeah,
that's
so
probably
you start with like Curse instead. Like get 2-3 heroes trapped in that.
Even just a 2-hero curses, yeah, it's fine. The Blink Earth Spirit is the other big one. If he can hit a nice blink into Boulder Smash onto a couple of heroes, he's the ideal target to initiate because he can apply stun and silence onto multiple heroes and just get them magnetized off. Doesn't matter if he dies early on in the fight, and then it just allows Magnus and the Jug to really shine. Well, this game is going to continue to stay fairly even, slightly EG favored overall in farm, but see the team fight potency of Faceless time and time again. But I like the Arteezy move going into the Bloodthorn, wanting to make sure he has that silence available, but Manta on Jug, BKB on Magnus, they have got escapes for this. Yules on the jabs as well on the Invoker, but it's just like small things, like you go on an Earth Spirit, you want to be able to prevent him from using his spell. Same for the Winter Wyvern. You go on him as a Weaver, he's just going to cold embrace himself, buy time for his team to show up. Ferocious respawn now. Immediately scattered by Faceless. And
yeah, and they're all over it.
An Outwolf and everything, but they have been spotted going into the pit by a Dire Ward.
Yep. The Weaver Bugs are also coming in. So Sumail's trying to force out the middle lane. But now, not really wanting to fight. If Faces want to start chipping down Roshan, then sure, get it to 50%. Then Faces kind of want to commit to it properly. That works if for EG, if Faces gather themselves up for a good pit. And now, kick, silence right on top of Sumail. The kick actually Underlord too, combining up with the RP. They have enough damage. Sumail is down 70 seconds with no buyback. Universe having to ulti his way out this one. Crit wants to hitch your ride and able to do so.
Should be Roshan too, without a buyback. Stopping this one, even with the ultis committed. Geez, contesting this is damn near impossible since they have to Dark Rift Universe out of there. So they're down Ember Spirit, and Universe is not really in the neighborhood. Arteezy's just going to pressure the top to make sure Faceless has to come back to defend. He may even get some good damage onto this tier 3 tower as well.
TP's already here from the Wyvern with Splinter Blast. Arteezy will back out.
Yeah.
So Roshan's done. Crit came in range of that Observer Ward, but no one's going to jump up for him. They just let it go. Apart from Ice, he just walks into the mid lane. Black, he can't really help him out. Even with the healing ward, I think he understands he has to BKB and skewer away. They have to get rid of the bug off him. At least now Arteezy Doesn't have enough negative armor to rip through him.
First use the BKB and not a particularly impactful one, but it does save his life, which at this point you've just picked up an Aegis. You don't want to be giving away a kill and losing time and stock of the map by having to play defensively just because you're down a hero with an Aegis. And also just being dead when you're going to have RP up soon is not a good thing for ISIS. So definitely worth using the BKB there, and we'll see probably Faceless make their next move around the RP coming back up. They've got no smokes on themselves just yet. One available in the shop though.
They don't want to fight just yet. Like, in 2 gold, you didn't have Lincoln Sphere now bought on the Invoker.
That's
so
handy.
He really needed to have that for the fight. So none of this like jump in Lion, which keeps disrupting him.
Yep. Also just means like Weaver can't silence him. You don't want to use your Yules defensively on yourself because Weaver like if you're in a team fight, you don't want to just Yules yourself and be up in the air for 3 seconds. You want to be using your spells right away. So Weaver can't just Shikuchi and Orchid the Invoker and use the Yules offensively or to chase ways that's much more preferred.
The Geometry side just got picked up by Faceless, so they want to have that extra vision. Make it more difficult for Arteezy just to slip around in the fights. And they're now taking out the last remaining outer towers, so almost the team's level on the outer tower destruction. There's still that tier 2 tower up for Dire side on bottom. Neither team have really assaulted into the shrines.
See if, Faceless are drawing lines as if that's what they want to do down this bottom lane.
Push, take the tier 2 tower, take the shrine, and just keep going from there.
Yeah, for EG to attack the shrines would be difficult. Perhaps the one by the secret shop they could, but that one on the bottom side of the map is especially easy to defend. So we'll see this game drag into the late game, into that late game Ember. Weaver Underlord just doesn't, like in my mind, that just doesn't match up against the Jug Magnus Invoker trio, but EG can look to outmaneuver. They've got great mobility spells around the map in the Dark Rift, as well as the Chen with the send back. They can use these tools.
There's too many things that can go wrong in the EG late game.
Yeah, I mean for Faces, I don't even feel like ISIS has to hit 2-3 hero RP. If he just RPs Sumail and they kill Sumail, that's enough. If he just gets Arteezy on the Weaver, I feel like that's enough. His job is done.
Well, you saw the effect of it in the last fight. Sumail was a non-factor.
Yeah, and that was what, they take out Sumail, they take Roshan. There's EG know they can't fight once Sumail's dead.
And here it is from Faceless, so they'll take the tier 2 tower. Get the Chen army trying to be a bit of a nuisance. Trade-off is going to be 1 fountain, but then 1 fountain in 1 shrine in return.
And EG have adopted the Faceless style, which is like, all right, we can't really fight them, let's now split push. So both teams avoiding each other, pushing out the opposite sides of the map to one another. So this is something...
It's a game of trades. That's what this has turned into.
Absolutely. And overall, EG, very efficient team, are maintaining a very small gold lead, but it's slowly being lost. Part of that was the tower gold as well as the Roche gold, but both teams are kind of matching up pretty well. The farming rate of the Midas Invoker versus the Empower on Magnus and Jug. Underlord doesn't really keep up as well in farm compared to all those other 5 cores because they just all kind of power farmers in different ways, but it's still an Underlord who can have a very big impact just through his defensive items.
Oh, Black knows what he's walking into. They have the Observe Ward, but Black, is he wanting to tank it? He'll actually die so quickly. The RP is still not being committed by ISIS. There was no fight, so he'll just TP out under the cover of his own BKB. That is a very interesting way for Faceless to initiate.
EG were ready. They're like, they're going to go for our shrine. Let's punish them. And, oh, nuts. Get out of there.
Oh, perfect timing for Sumail. They still have that Observe Ward up next to the dead shrine.
Yeah, that was very well played by EG. They had the high ground position. They knew Faces were going to come for their shrine. And with the Hex Bloodthorn, that Juggernaut fell very fast, despite having the Manta, the Skadi, a lot of stats, a lot of armor. EG were able to bring him down, and he does not have buyback. This is a tricky hold, potentially.
And it will be. Jabs is finally coming back, and they need him. He's the big player in this hold. With a jump in, the skewer, ISIS tries to go on Universe. He was pretty slowed up. We've dragged him in deep inside the base.
They've even lost the Aegis now. But I think with the respawns coming at AG, they're going to back off knowing that this is not a good time to get caught near a tier 3 tower. Fighting into the shrine's always going to be tricky. They want to make sure they can play for the late game a bit themselves. They've got 2 Ancients already on Zai. The 2 ideal ones, like perhaps you could say.
No, they just stay with easy objectives. Goodbye, Shrine.
Yep.
No TPs out.
Both teams have really mashed each other blow for blow. Like EG split push one side, Faces split push another. EG takes Shrines on one side of the map, Faces do it on the other side. Both teams kind of even matching up in terms of farm across the different cores, so very even game. Bit more farm than the EG supports with the Zai Chen having Vlad's Ags and the Helm of the Dominator versus an Earth Spirit who's sitting on just really the Bleak Dagger as far as playmaking items go.
He'll get more. With the 90 gold per minute talent tree, he'll get a lot more items.
That is true. This is a hero that late game with an Ag Scepter can be a game winner. Seen in the past how influential that Ags upgrade can be.
They're on the hunt.
Observer
Ward's going to see the courier, but it's okay. Well, maybe that's actually not that bad of a pickup. It had 2 Observer Wards for EG on it. It could have been worse.
Scan doesn't find too much, and yeah, coming out of Invis means EG know he either had an Invis rune or was smoked, and more likely that side of the map means his teammates probably smoked up, and again, EG's make the exact same play, like, okay, they're all bottom, let's go all top. We can force them back by pressuring this top tier 3 tower, and that's going to be the play they look to make as EG are pushing. Their creep wave going to reach the Radiant base a little bit before Faceless reach the EG base.
Yep. At the same time, though, you only need to leave like a Magnus or a Juggernaut behind. We saw how much damage Black did to that top tower, which seems like almost an eternity ago. Yeah. But you give him an Empower buff up, the creep wave pushes very quickly from Faceless. So it's up to Jabs to defend the top. You already have Zai back here. He could drag back his army if he needs to.
He takes some damage on this tier 3. Jabs doesn't want to get too close.
Okay, now TT's coming over too. So Ice, waiting for the opportunity, walking forward. And they just caught a glimpse of Arteezy and realized this is not the fight they were looking for.
Yeah, he was very far forward with his positioning there, thinking he could make a play happen, seeing a hero's up top, but Sumail can always TP in. And
oh, nice tornado. Is there going to be some kind of follow-up? Nope. Universe as well as Crit still hovering by. Both teams are almost playing chicken.
And both teams have
this safe flame push.
Yeah, I mean, they both have boots of travel. Like Sumail, if there's a fight bottom, can boots of travel in. Same for the Invoker. So it's this kind of game of who's going to make the first move, who's going to get the jump. It's really up to Faceless to either Faceless jump in at bottom lane or EG is going to jump in at top. And that's where Jabs is playing very cautiously as he defends this lane.
They just TP'd back and this dire Observer Ward saw it all. Tornado will only connect on the creep wave, so Crit waits in the tree line, so does Universe, and they're all bailing out. Unless Black got really lucky then, with that Invis rune, he potentially could have run into Sumail on the way out.
Yeah, Universe is going to Dark Rift him home. I was wondering if Crib was going to stay in there even longer, but...
Bottom lane, Arteezy goes a little bit of a run. The BTs are down from Jabs, and Arteezy just so quick. When the Scarab Beetles move forward to the creep wave...
That Shikuchi talent plus 200 movement speed.
Oh, he just time-lapsed back over. RP's going to be there. The Sunstride's coming in with the Meteorite. They have enough control. No time-lapse time. Although time to time-lapse for the Weaver.
That's a handy kill. That's, I think Faceless have kind of decided how they want to approach this, which is just wait for the big pickoffs. Play around probably the next Rosary spawn as well.
They're getting their big items up too. With that money, now you're going to get the full scythe device completed on the Invoker. Or almost the full scythe. He needs one more camp to farm, but the Ember Spirit's just taken these two.
The Earth Spirit is a big problem here in the late game because Sumail has a Manta to get out of the silence, but Weaver does not have a escape for that silence. So getting caught by the silence or a stun can be the death of those two heroes. They're going to try force the buyback with Black, who can, in his mind, safely push the high ground with Blade through. He needs to not get hexed by Lion into a buyback of Weaver. That's kind of could be his potential undoing if he's not careful. So he's going to probably just wait for the Blade Fury and just slowly, safely push and break through.
They have to be careful. Like, if you lose this fight, Roshan's up in 10 seconds time. So you could actually lose the Aegis and the Cheese as well. So
probably going to chip it back here. This is, I imagine, the retreat here.
It would make sense. Sleight of Fist Searing Chains, Crit with a double stun as well, trying to force the engagement. Universe moving forward as well, able to get a 3-man pit off. Wyvern caught in the middle. That Black and Magnus, they're the bigger ones, was wanting to retreat, and BKB triggered by Ice. So that is all she wrote of this push.
He got scared of a lion finger, I guess, and the need to make sure he could get out of there okay.
It's still good damage though.
in 3 seconds. It looks like Jab should be able to finish off this shrine, and taking out that shrine means taking Roshan's a lot safer because that access point for EG is taken away. They can't TP there. Still could potentially Dark Rift to a neutral there, smoking up fast, and
they want to come over and contest this, but it's so difficult now. Like, you got a fresh Shiva's gun over on the Magnus. You want to initiate in, it could still be a trap.
Magnus doesn't have the BKB, but they are on a good position here on the high ground with the advantage. Arteezy.
Sentry's there.
Oh,
Sumail!
He jumps up instantly. Nexus Sunstrike's going to be there. Hit by the meteorite on the backline. It's a huge kick. Rolling back and RP him in a second. There they are. Put them all together in one big bag and crack the eggs of EG. They're dying so quickly. The damage will be there to bring down the Earth Spirit, but Black's on a triple kill. Arteezy yules up and towards the air. Do they have enough control for him? Black, maybe they actually do. If Faceless is actually starting to fall a little bit. Jab is isolated. Arteezy's going to be on the run with Shikuchi. He's got the movement speed. They have to commit a lot of buybacks, EG, to take this fight, so Arteezy will get the double kill. They need to take Roshan as well. Buyback's available for the Invoker, but Black caught out by Sumail. The buyback will work for him. Sumail will die. Sumail will live. A big kill streak ended, and it'll be Arteezy starting up Roshan to try and finish it. Whew, I don't think that was the EG plan, but it worked out. Sumail dying very quickly at the start of that fight, but with the buyback, it was a great Winter's Coast too. They even took out the Lion from the fight. Like, that's a big problem here to deal with, and they took out Lion, they took out Sumail's Ember Spirit, but
they both pulled back, and so did the Chen.
Yep. The buybacks being enough to pull them through. And with that, they may look to threaten this high ground, try and force Faceless to commit their buybacks.
Well, that'll be a big thing if EG can do it. The fortification will buy a little bit of time. Arteezy's walking around with a cheese on himself at the moment, so he's not worrying too much about the damage he's taking.
We'll be worried about this Magnus respawn in 10 seconds, or at least should be.
Oh, there's your jump in. Underlord coming in with the ultimate. They find the Earth Spirit out of position. Colin Brace will buy a little bit of time. Earth Spirit's down. The extra stun. Wyvern's gone as well. Wyvern will buy back. Earth Spirit doesn't have that same luxury. They are really holding on. They do not want to commit these buybacks at all, even at the cost of their mid-ranks. If they go for more, then maybe. Skewer forward. Magnus getting silenced up. Arteezy staying on him with a Bloodthorn, but the Cold Embrace protects the Magnus for now. Tornado will not be able to catch anybody but Crit. Cole snapped up while taking damage from the tower. He'll lose his life. The Gem of True Sight on the deck with a Deafening Blast to Mail. He's so low. He'll burn the Aegis Immortal. A quick pause. As you said, they are taking out top. Universe is up there. Small little issue with the crash, but he's straight back in again.
And he's back in 5 seconds after this Aegis, so...
And he'll have a lot of damage to pump into Jams as well as Nuts. But this will be 2 melee racks going down, of course. The entire mid-ranks was already taken, but Arteezy starting the damage. Arteezy back up. There's Sumail, jump forward. Doesn't get the steering chains off. The top lane's already had the damage done to it, so we'll stay with the fight in the bottom lane with Wyvern in the tree line. Sumail, it looks almost too easy for him to do this. But Black's here with the Omni Slash. No one properly isolated that he can kill off, or controlled enough that he can kill him off. And in fact, this Juggernaut is in trouble. The pit's down, Black's losing life, now into the Omni Slash. Arteezy, that Hex held in there, bouncing back over to the Underlord. The damage is big and it'll be enough. So you bring down Arteezy, you'll take Universe as well.
Those are heroes with buybacks. That's the good news if you're EG. You're not in danger of having a Rax taken on your side. If you lost an Ember there, if you lose like the Chen plus Lion, suddenly you're defending your high ground with a numbers disadvantage and a very long respawn time. But
you see the line just being drawn? It's let's go mid. That's the line that came out from Wyvern.
Seems to me like a decent idea right now, considering Weaver is dead again. They're probably expecting buyback to be available on at least Arteezy, if not both him and Universe. But Faceless have ideas in their head that they can even things up with a Rax. They push out the top lane with the Invoker, who's got boots of travel, but EG will be ready with those buybacks, and very soon a potential Octarine call could be coming on Sumail, lowering his cooldowns even further. He's already got the level 25, and this is going to be a hold for EG that's definitely possible. If they mess up, they won't have buybacks.
Yep. Crazy position to see this game in, and you're seeing ISIS looking for that opportunity to move forward. Doesn't really have it, so they put Black on the front lines. Gets Panton stumped. Got a hell of a lot of damage coming out from EG, but once again, they have fortification to stall this up. 15 seconds until the Weaver is alive, and maybe it's now EG's turn to make the same kind of sacrifice. That mid-Rax, there's no pickoff this time around. It was EG will find the pickoff that kept that push going inside the Radiant base, and Faces may have no other choice. They may have to bail out of here.
I don't think it's the forward spirits there, but yeah, with Weaver back alive, this suddenly gets a lot tougher because now EG do have the buybacks to play with. Now that they've respawned Universe Arteezy, both have buybacks. It suddenly turns into the high ground defender's advantage as EG can use that Weaver as a kind of a front liner, not be too afraid of him going down. And also importantly, Sumail's Ocarine Core comes out. So this is where that permanent Searing Chains comes into play, as well as that very short cooldown on Sleight of Fist, giving him a very high amount of damage to be output in these team fights.
And Faces, they really want to go for this. Arteezy come back with a TP scroll is all it'll take. They just pin it up. Remember, this time there's no fortification. So Black chipping away at the tower with Mjolnir shield on him. Hoping for a little bit of sparks to come. But nothing yet.
They're really just trying to finish it off with the Blade Fury, but I think they decide, okay, it's getting a little bit too dangerous now. They saw Arteezy top and perhaps figured he might have a TP on cooldown, but was not the case, and they're going to back on out.
They also understand that these creep waves is going to keep pushing in on them, so they can only keep the siege up for so long before it just becomes like more problematic that they get traded out.
Oh, EG want to catch them and fight around this really nice high ground ward that they've got. They see a lot with this ward. You have to also know that maybe Jabs will be able to rotate in quickly.
Black, where's that jump in? The double Searing Chains, the Hex over on the Magnus. Ice, almost down, but will it be enough? The root's there. They have enough time. And Arteezy battling on the back lines. We split this into two different parts. Winter Wyvern will finally go down. Sumail brings that magical damage front lines. And Juggernaut, no Omni-Slash available, no way to break free. So Black will go down. Buyback is available for the Juggernaut, but not for the Wyvern, and Magnus already had to expend his.
XY Aghanims saved the Magnus there, but he tried to re-engage Ice and got caught by the Lion Hex Finger. Almost able to come back in and get a nice RP, but Crit with a very good heads-up play was ready for it, and got Ice on that big problem hero.
And this is the fight when you want to buy back the Juggernaut a little bit earlier on, so you can actually give him the Empower buff up before the fight begins. But that also lets EG know they're ready to defend this. Remember, they're not the ones in any kind of peril. They've got a lane and a half advantage from Rax.
If anything, they're wanting to wait for Sumail to farm up his buyback again. Make sure that they have two, and it's not even just about having the safety of the Ember buyback, it's about having the aggressive potential of it, because you want to go push high ground or play hyper-aggressive as an Ember Spirit, you may just say, look, I may get taken out by a Magnus RP, but I'll have buyback, I can remnant in, and without an RP, I'm going to go ham. I'm going to kill all of them. So sometimes dying as an Ember Spirit can be a good thing in a fight. And maybe a decent approach to take, where if you trade a Ember life for RP, that could win you the game. That could get you another lane of Rax. Pressure on Invoker. Ooh.
Yeah, this control, like, I now watch Ember like a hawk, watch the Invoker like a hawk, because he is going to be that one that gets the quick pick off with almost no trade apart from triggering Refresher.
There is the Lotus on Chen. This is the protection, yeah, that needs to be used to perhaps dispel that Hex as soon as possible. Ideally, I think you want to almost save it until you see the Hex. Using it preemptively maybe not necessary. Rather have it for the dispel than the echo.
Smoke on smoke. Ice is pretty damn close. Universe will have his trigger, so will Black, so they both know. Defensive blinks away.
I like EG. You know as soon as that smoke pops, oh, they see us, but we don't see them.
Oh, Arteezy, quick silence on the Earth Spirit, but he blinks away. Magnus in the pit, he'll trigger it. Oh no! He actually threw out the ultimate.
And immediately Dark Grip on him.
Yeah, look at him go. They are with the curse.
Oh,
with the curse! They're actually killing off the male! He transferred him down, and they killed him mid-TP. 2 minutes on the sideline for the Ember Spirit. That actually worked. Nuts. He may not save the day, but allowed Jabs to initiate. Sunstrike's off the mark. Remember, he's still got the refresh drop available. And now with a buyback, you want that Ember to start fighting. He'll jump out, back out to the Spirit again. Magnus triggering the Shiva's Guard, keeping Earth Evil Genius out, but maybe if Ice goes down here, this is problematic. The top lane's being attacked too, so no Ice. Weaver is low with a Deathling Blast. He'll time-lapse off the damage. still surviving. The side of Fist and Ember, he's back into the mix. Goodbye, Wyvern, and this will be maybe enough damage. Black has his ultimate available. He wants to isolate the nail with a kick forward. They look over to Chen. The bounce continues. Zai will go. It's a triple kill for Black. Rolling ball forward. They found another one. They found Crit up next to the ancient area. He'll need a little bit more help to get out of this. Or maybe not. Black is already having to push down the mid lane. They're being sieged on all sides, and Megas are now up for EG.
I think suiciding for the Megas there is fine for Arteezy, but Sumail dying. He isn't a buyback. Suddenly Faceless going to be pushing out forward. Jabs may TP in, and they may look to try and take a couple lanes of racks back themselves. This is a not done and dusted game just yet for EG.
It's a little bit more difficult for Black because he doesn't have the Empower buff up that comes from the madness. So this push is not coming as quickly as he would really like. And the Chen army is still a real pain in the butt.
The line is a scary hero to be pushing into as well, because he's got that burst damage potential. If you get hexed, if you're a Jug and you get Hex impaled while Weaver buys back, suddenly you're dead and you've just lost the game. So he's going to actually back off, and they're not able to capitalize on the fact that Sumail just died back.
I can't actually imagine, like, I was wondering, like, hey, is this Chen going to be really good later on? But with the new Ancient creep,
what have we here?
he's actually walking around with a Prowler Shaman at the moment. This actually causes a lot of issues for anyone that wants to attack, because you're going to get rooted. You got another stun that keeps coming out from this guy.
It's the physical armor reduction is percent based, so scales pretty well into the late game as well.
Oh, hello. Black. Well, at least he'll get rid of the Centaur, trying to go for this solo Roshan. He needs help, and he needs help now. Ember Spirit still down for another 26 seconds. The Observer Warden Sentry does scout the Chen moving over, but he's only here at the Black Dragon, so this will be Faces taking Roshan, so both the Aegis as well as Cheese. They put it on Black, he'll drop the Dominator for it, the jump forward. The Chen, you watch him, he's that rock that flew backwards. So no Chen, he's down for 40 seconds.
That's a dieback, but he's got a nice little talent. He's got minus 40 seconds.
He's also got EG inside the base. They found the Winter Wyvern, so support for support. Universe, he can just bring his entire team in so quickly. Black will start the spin, try and trigger around a little bit of damage onto Arteezy. He's taking so much himself. He does have the Aegis to the Immortal, but it's already triggered. Invoker at least puts that Weaver up towards the air. Sunstrike's off on the back line. They find someone else. Yeah, they do. They found Sumail. He'll go down. And Crit, Ghosted will protect him from ice, but let's go back inside the base. You need to watch Arteezy's effect inside this base as Jabs puts down the ice wall. The kick is going to be there, and the silence. Arteezy having to stand his ground. He's got so much life with the silence on the Earth Spirit. He may even pop with Arteezy getting in closer. Jabs, where's your control? Refresher orbs on cooldown, and so is his life. He'll have to buy back. Ice. Now the sun's on him for the tornado. He'll create space. Will it be enough? Magnetech's up. He skewers away. Arteezy's attack will follow him all the way in the pit. The deafening blast won't be enough, and now they look for the attack. Jabs in the tree line with the Sunstrike. He'll connect with the tornado, canceling up the Lion. But he's in the tree lines. He'll go down. 2 minutes on the sideline. Ultra kill for Arteezy. And GG at 53-51. EG will take game 3 from Faceless. But it was a long, hard road for both sides.
Yeah, Faceless showing they're no pushovers, but EG, the veteran team, showing a lot of their experience in ending the game, playing the late game